So today's video, you would think would be super short and super simple, but it's not. It's not at all. It's really long. It's 19 minutes or something like that. No, it's 22 minutes. I was wrong. It's 22 or 23 minutes, something like that. And this video took me approximately 4 days to edit. I kid you not. Some of it is my editing software. With every use, it gets worse and worse. I am thinking of switching to Filmora, but that costs money, and the one that I'm using now is free, hence it being incredible garbage and not working. But aside from that, I don't know. I don't know why. Maybe because I altered the structure of the building as well as added stuff around the outside, as well as redecorated all of the upstairs rooms and some of the downstairs rooms. I don't know. But this one was just so different. And now that I'm watching the video, I do see where I made some mistakes, especially with the roofing, that I wish I could go back and fix, but it's too late now. I was having a bit of rough health for a couple of weeks, and so now it's going to take me a little bit of time to get back into the swing of things, so I don't want to keep re-recording this video. It was god-awful the first time. I don't want that experience again, re-recording and re-editing. So, we all live and we learn. We make mistakes in our builds and we use that to learn the next time, right? In this case, it's just the roofing. So, I mean, it's some minor, easy fixes in reality, but I don't know, it bothers me to look at it now that I see it. But anyways, so Cottage Living is all about the cottage core aesthetic, right? But there is some farming involved, and even though it'll be very cottagey looking, like farm building objects for the animals and stuff, it still lends itself to a more Brindleton Bay country farmhouse look as well. I thought it would fit in anyways. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I guess we'll find out when the pack actually releases later in July. But I thought it would fit in really well with Brindleton Bay and with a more old Midwest farm aesthetic, which is why I chose this lot, because right after the pack was announced, I got really super inspired and I thought that this lot would be perfect to try something with and not build it necessarily from scratch myself. It's got the shape of a barn after all, so yeah, I thought it fit perfectly. But I added, so here I'm adding a little like miniature field, like a giant garden, to plant all the plants, the new ones and the old ones. It can be expanded, or there will be another place in the yard later on, you'll see it, big opened area where you can add a second field area, or maybe a tree like apple orchard or other fruit tree type of thing later on if you want. And then I add a space for a chicken coop because this is technically in town-ish, and I might use some of the other bigger lots in the future to make more full-on farms for cows and llamas and the whole 9 yards. But for this one, it's more of an in-town lot. Oh, excuse me, tummy ache city today over here. But it's more of an in-townish lot, or like right on the edge of town kind of lot. And so I thought, the most would probably be like a chicken coop. So that's what I'm putting in right here, is an area for the chicken coop. I used these fences because I liked them and they gave me a very farmhouse feel, but they don't have gates. So you might have to change out the fences later so you have a matching gate. Or if gates are needed, like for the planting area, you probably don't need a gate. I'm not sure about the chicken area though. But if a gate is necessary, then you can always change out the fence or add whatever gate you personally like to the area. But I just left it open for now because the pack isn't even out yet and we don't know everything that's going to be available quite yet. You know what I mean? I just felt super inspired and I wanted to work that inspiration out on something, and so this is what I did for now with what we have available and knowledge of the new pack for now. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that probably didn't make a whole lot of sense. I'm sorry. I'm still recovering from a bad health week. I'm exhausted. On top of that, I drank 2 caffeinated beverages like late in the evening last night. Big mistake. Big mistake. I basically didn't sleep last night at all, so I'm just a tiny bit exhausted. Or, maybe a lot. But there isn't much to say out here. I kept it very basic with the idea that there is a large space you can add more onto later. Oh, I added the bird feeders because I knew that birds, like if I had a bunny stump too, I would have added that too. But I know that like birds and rabbits especially are gonna be more important in the next expansion pack. And I'm assuming, although I could be wrong, that you're gonna get interactive birds in any world, possibly. I hope it's not just like cats and dogs, where cats and dogs are really only strays in Brindleton Bay. I hope it's not like that, or at the very least it comes with a lot trait that we can add to attract birds and stuff to the lots like we can other lots in other worlds for stray animals. I don't know. But it is a fully, what am I trying to say? Functional. It's like a hobby farm. There's the insect houses where you can use it to get flour or I think fuel, and then the bees for the honey and stuff. So you could plant lots of stuff here, have the chickens for the eggs. You could probably, depending on how big the chicken coop is, you could probably even house the llamas and the chickens together, or have cows and llamas instead of chickens. I just thought being on the edge of town, chickens made more sense. I do plan on doing more farms in the bigger lots on the other part of Brindleton Bay, where you're by the, near that park where you can where you're right on the edge of the ocean, not where the community lots are. Why can't I remember the name of that neighborhood? Anyways, you know what I'm trying to say. They have a couple of mansion lots over there that would work good as full, big, huge farms, full farms that you could do all the chicken, the horse, not the horses, the llamas and the cows on, and have big storage buildings and big, what do we have available to us? We have that fizzy drink maker thing, the candle station, all that. It can be a huge, big, fully functioning farm. I've got plans and ideas for that too. This was just a starting off place. And I had lots and lots of problems with this, not just the recording. I had to move this house out and put it in another world. because I originally made it for the save file, and as part of the save file, what I do later is go in and add a family and add personal touches for the family. But I wanted this to be a blank lot for anyone to use for cottage living in the future, and I forgot to save a copy of it pre-family personal touches. So then I had to go back in, save the lot, put it in a different world, empty all the family touches and the personalized family touches for the save file in it, and kind of take it to a blank slate-ish. But some of the stuff, not the stuff that I used move objects on for, but some of the stuff that I used alt move for disappeared. All the move objects on stuff stayed put just fine, but anything that I alt moved disappeared. So I had to replace everything. And then as I was recording the ending, which you'll see here, the walkthrough at the end, which you'll see here in a couple of minutes, I kept noticing things I either forgot to delete that were part of the family for the save file stuff, or things that the game deleted because I alt moved them and I had to replace that. It took me so long to record the ending walkthrough. I'm sure a lot of it felt longer just because I wasn't feeling well, and it wasn't COVID or anything like that. It was just, if you watch my vlog channel, you know that I have a lot of health issues. I have a rare neurological disorder that causes a lot of health issues, and sometimes I just get overwhelmed by everything and I push myself too hard physically, and then I just don't function well for a while after that. Last week was that case. We went up north, quite a ways up north, and visited a special all abilities playground for children to interact, who both have disabilities, or who all have disabilities, and kids who don't have disabilities. You know what I'm saying? Like a mixed playground. So all sorts of kids with all sorts of different abilities and disabilities can interact together, is basically what I was trying to say. We were there for a few hours, and it's an awesome park, and I love it, and my daughter loved it and wanted to go back again, but we thoroughly exhausted ourselves while we were there. So that did not help anything. That definitely did not help me at all. So that was like the icing on a bad health week. And I just ended up taking forever. 4 days to edit this video, and some of it was the editing software. I was so frustrated. But I'll stop complaining now. So it's nothing fancy, it's nothing special. I tried to stay within a mostly narrow country farm, rustic, rough, like aesthetic as much as I could, with little touches of other things here and there, to give it an ever so slight eclectic look. Because I feel like farmhouses generally tend to actually, like legit farmhouses, not the ones you see on TV, like the urban farmhouses and the modern farmhouses and stuff like that, but like legit farmhouses tend to have actually a little bit more of an eclectic look than people realize they have. So, and maybe that's because I live in Wisconsin. I've spent my entire life in Wisconsin surrounded by farms and farmhouses. That is just different to me than what people stereotypically portray it as on TV. But yeah, they tend to have a little bit mixture of industrial, mixture of traditional, all sorts of things actually. But anyways, I just remembered all those curtains that I'm placing were, I think it took me probably 15 minutes just to place the curtains, because for some reason I am having trouble placing curtains on windows until I place them on the outside of the window first. Then I can place them on the inside of the window, but otherwise I can't place curtains on the inside of windows right now, and I don't know what kind of weird glitch that is, but it was really frustrating. I cut most of it out because it was annoying to watch, and I'm sure you didn't want to see me trying to figure out why I couldn't place a window and trying again, not window, but curtain, and just continuously trying, only to realize that once I placed it on the outside, I could place it on the inside, because I just wanted to default to the outside of the window every single time, and move objects on and alt move were not helping at all. It was very frustrating, let me tell ya. But this room probably went through the most amount of changes and took me the longest, because I decorated it one way, emptied everything out, and then decorated it another way, and I just wasn't happy with it because it didn't have the personal touches that I wanted it to have, that the save file will have with the family living in it later on down the road. But for now, it had to be fairly generic, and I thought it looked really super empty and not personal at all. So it was probably, the study was probably the most frustrating one that I kept redoing. Everything else went fairly smoothly, honestly. Well, no, the kids' bedroom was another one that I kept changing things out because it didn't seem to work really well. But other than that, like, the kitchen went fairly well, the dining room was super easy, the living room, as you can see, was super easy, because all I was doing was taking the aesthetic that was already there and the aesthetic and color scheme of the house and just putting the furniture back in and adding furniture from other packs, obviously, that it didn't have, like the little coat thing there, and some of the little decorative things on the shelves, and some of the lighting options, and some of the farm stuff outside. You know what I'm trying to say, right? Yeah. So it should have gone a lot faster. I don't know why this video is so long, and I don't know why it took so long to edit, other than my crappy editing software, because it was so simple to do. I remember doing this a lot. I remember right after Cottage Living was announced, like maybe within hours of it being announced, I came in here and did this lot, and it didn't take me that long. It didn't take me that long at all, and yet it's a forever feeling video. Like, it just keeps going and go. I don't know. This one is just weird, but maybe I'm just having a weird couple of weeks. I don't know, but that's just me. I'm generally weird anyways. So, I mean, anybody who watches me already knows that about me, that I'm kind of weird anyways. But this video, not the lot itself, because again, that was super easy to work on. The video is just throwing me off. Oh, here's the walkthrough, so I'll let you watch that.